Hello, hello. We are live and welcome to another episode of Freedom Fridays with Dana Lee. I'm your host, Dana Lee. I'm a diet recovery coach and I help women over 40 heal from decades of dieting damage. I help them heal mentally, emotionally, and physically. So it's not just metabolic damage that's often talked about. It's more of the mental beatdown, that component that really needs healing and recovery from yo-yo dieting. So if you're here with me live, say hello. I got a special treat for you guys today, giving you lots of freedom and some fun. I'm pulling myself up on Facebook just to make sure I catch all my comments. So I use something called StreamYard, and you have to allow your name to be shown. So if you comment, I can't always see who it is unless you give StreamYard permission. Okay, so I have been inspired this year to get back to drawing. And the last 2 months, really kind of since the new year, I have been breaking out my pencils and drawing. Now, if you don't know this about me, yes, I have a very strong career in fitness for nearly 30 years, 27 years to be exact. My other career besides fitness was in graphic design and marketing. And I have my BFA in graphic design. So I actually was an illustrator. I freelanced some illustration for years. I have I have some work published, believe it or not, in The Idiot's Guide to Pregnancy and Childbirth. I did some drawings in that book back when I was in college. I didn't get paid, but I became a published illustrator, and that was a big deal. So my name is on like that title page. So anyhow, I put my pencils down for a number of years, and I just kind of like, all right, I'm just going to focus on fitness and this other part of my career. And I kind of let it go dormant. And lately in my mentorship community in this last year or so, we really have been cultivating and expressing creativity and how important that is when it comes to healing our relationship with food and our relationship with ourselves. Because if we have emotional eating issues, there's some trapped expression and trapped emotions that are causing some of that coping behavior because we don't know exactly how to channel it or what to do about that. So it often comes out in the symptom of how we behave with food and our relationship to food. So part of healing that is tapping into some creativity. And even if you aren't someone who draws, I totally get it. And this is why I'm excited to bring you something that I drew especially for my community. And I have a free download for you to help you on your path to unlock that creative expression by breaking out your colored pencils and your crayons and your markers as we work through reframing old negative patterns in our head around food and our belief about ourselves. So the last couple months, I created a new ritual for myself. I wanted to do it. It was just time. You can't, I say this to my clients all the time in the mentorship, you can't force yourself into, really, it's not, you should on yourself enough in your life. What we do in my program is create and build some momentum. So you're actually building a case as to why you want to take the best care of yourself, and your well-being becomes of such great value in your life. And you have skill setting around boundaries. It happens over time, and there's some momentum that has to be created with that. It can't just happen overnight. So part of our mentorship program, we have been just encouraging one another to make jewelry, to paint, to draw, to get into photography, to find other ways of self-expression. And the last couple months for me personally, I've been waking up in the morning and pouring myself a cup of coffee, of course, where are my coffee junkies at? I love coffee. And I don't pick up my phone. I pick up my pencils and my sketch pad, and I start drawing. And what has happened this last couple months is that I have been inspired to create, and I didn't know what this was called until I joined this creative, it's visual communications. And it's a whole workshop and a whole program around that in visually communicating with, like, through using my business, but also using my pencils and my pens. And so I have been doing what's called note sketching, apparently, and I didn't know that was a thing, but basically creating, like, having a phrase or a sentence, and I change the fonts and create shapes and forms and all sorts of stuff to create this page with a phrase on it. It's an affirmation perhaps, or to reinforce some positive thought or thinking. So that's what leads me to my gift that I have for you today. I created 5 coloring pages just for you to doodle, to break out your pens, your markers, your pencils, however the heck you want to do it. And what's great is it's a PDF download, so you can just print the pages again and again and change the colors or do whatever you want. Okay, so it's called Color Your Way to Food Freedom, and I actually did draw that cover, and then I just took a picture of it for the cover. And of course, this awesome coffee mug. You're awesome. Keep that shit up. So that was a gift from one of my clients, my beloved training client, Jen. So basically, it's 5 phrases that are going to help rewire old thinking about your behaviors around food. Okay, so the first phrase is, even if I feel guilty after I eat, I choose to love myself anyway. And then I give you a page to journal. So there's an empty page right after that. So as you color, if things are coming to mind, jot them down, get them out of your head and onto the paper. Even if it feels ridiculous, even if it doesn't matter, whatever comes up, write it down. The second one is, the more that I believe I can create my life to be whatever I want, the more power I have over food. Now, I could show you the pictures of what this looks like, but I want that to be a surprise. Okay, the next one is, I am learning to trust myself to know the best foods in the best quantity for my body and my well-being. So that's number 3. Okay, the fourth one is, my physical, emotional, mental, and spiritual health are all a part of creating a good relationship with food. All of those components are important. Oftentimes we neglect 3 of them. It's the physical. I've got to lose weight. It's the calories in, calories out. This is reframing that. This is part of how I healed my relationship with food. I brought all those elements into my life and balanced it out and gave them, brought them to the table, if you will. All right. And then anything that comes up about that, I have another page. You journal. You could journal after every single one of them. And then the last one, when I take personal responsibility for what I say and do in my life, my relationship to food becomes easier. Okay, so that's number 5. And then yet another page to journal, let it out, what comes up as you're coloring, as you're thinking about it, as you may have contrast in your life about it, like this isn't true or what. So get it out on paper. Okay, so where can you find these things? So it's realfit.tv/color. All right, so I'm going to throw it into the comments there in Facebook so you can download your coloring pages. The other thing I'm inviting you to do is, once you color, and I will do this too, right? So once I color them myself, because I'm telling you, this is fresh off the press, you guys. Once I color them myself, I will also take a picture and I'm going to post it in our Life Beyond Dieting Facebook group, because they are good reinforcements for all of us to see and all of us to witness. And I would love to see how we color things so differently. If you use different mediums like pencil versus markers, it's going to look different. Maybe you want to combine those mediums, and maybe you want to, see what it looks like in grayscale, right? Like you're coloring it all or monocolor, right? Well, what shades of one color. So you could do all sorts of things with that. And I just want you to have fun, because truly my approach to helping you heal your food addiction, sugar cravings, emotional eating, compulsive eating, binge eating, nighttime snacking, all of that, my approach is much more lighthearted and more fun. And this is what taps into some answers. If we are white knuckling it and forcing it and taking it so seriously all the time, they're going to be stuck in the same questions and the same answers and the same questions and the same answers over and over and over. So we have to completely change the approach so that way we get a different result. We start to break open some other ideas, some other answers come through. And when other answers come through, your behavior starts to change. Because when you know better, you do better. And when there's another level of awareness, when there's another level of compassion, something that you get with working with me is more softness, compassion, understanding of what you've been through in your life, and how you are doing the best you can to get through this thing called life. Okay. And we just happen to use food as a coping mechanism for some of that. And it's okay. That's okay. We're doing the best we can. So if you are, however, really tired of it, you're fatigued, you're beat down, you're feeling exhausted, then start with this coloring book and see what happens when you approach it with a different view, a different way of lightening up around the topic, and see what comes of it. All right. So, all right. Excellent, you guys. Thank you so much. Again, it's realfit.tv/color. Okay. So go to that URL, and that is where you can download your very own coloring pages, coloring your way to food freedom. Okay, fabulous. So it's a short one today. Thank you so much to my replay viewers and whoever was able to join live. I would love, love, love to hear from you. And I would absolutely love to hear or see some of your posts in our group after you download and start coloring. So enjoy it. Please share it. Please share realfit.tv/color with any of your friends, anyone who you love, enjoys coloring. Please share it with them. Pay it forward, pass on the love and the healing, and let's all rise up to change our relationship with food for the good. All right. Okay. Sending you lots of love, and I will tune in with you, talk to you next time. Mwah.